I learned 8 years working in physical therapy that I was to empower my client to work with their own bodies. Just good report. I'm seeing myself show up even in pragmatic ways with my community. And I'm seeing healings happening among us. And I'm so grateful for this honored position where I can see this, not just in one community, but in many that I'm connected with. And I'm giving thanks for God's wisdom, because this is exactly what my heart needs to see and how I need to experience this world is in communion with you. I love you.
All we know is all we know. All we reap is all we sow. Quantum leap, a beam of light, yeah. Heal the sick, restore our sight. I became the love that I had always needed. I was her and I was him and I was you, yeah. Just who did you think you was? Come on. Oh, 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 oh. I became the light. Yes, I did. Is that right? I became. Oh, let me testify. Ooh, now you know I see the light. You know I see the light. Now you know I see the light in you. Oh, come on. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I became the love that I had always needed. I was her, and I was him, and I was you, my friend, yeah. Ooh, 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 ooh. Just who did we think we were? Come on. Hey, hey, hey. All we know is all we know. All we reap is all we sow. Quantum leap, a beam of light, yeah, yeah. Heal the sick, restore our sight. I became the love that I had always needed. I was her, and I was him, and I was you, yeah.
I can do it. It's okay. We're gonna be alright.
Just who did we think we was? Too big to fail. Come on, what? People rise up, come on. I became the light. Oh, yes, I became the light. Na 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 na. Now I see the light in you. Now you know I see that light. You know I see the light. Now you know I see the light in you.
Okay, so what just happened here at this little campsite is I just had myself an integrated technology forest festival. I was writing, editing, plus I was having some really grounded time with the Great Mother. Some naked time in the forest. You know, you can learn a lot crawling around on all fours, like over rocks and shit. Like when you take your clothes off, it's like you get a sense of vulnerability, right? You start looking around like if you can separate it from your shame thing, because that takes a while to do in my experience too for some of us, because like first of all you have to kind of understand that it's not sick and weird to want to take off your clothes in the forest. Like that's a really a beautiful and natural thing, actually. That there is like a sense of connectedness that we can gain when it's just, you might just consider it a practice, a nature practice. Just what it feels like to walk over sticks with your feet and just to feel the kind of like how brutal she is sometimes and how difficult it would be to have no clothing. It gives you respect for those beings that we call animals who are out here doing this all the time. The wisdom, the intelligence that it takes to be out here, to live out in this. So yeah, along the lines of just connecting with one's animal nature, which I really do believe is pretty important, because if the animal nature is ignored, I think we've proven to ourselves time and time again that we become very ill. And there is this spirit practice that, well, it's just common knowledge now that Empire Christianity crushed the nature rituals and the women who were dancing naked in the forest, right? And I'm just here to say, dancing naked in the forest ain't just for women. It's a real thing. It's a real joyful experience to be, I ain't naked all the time while I'm out in the forest. A very small percentage of the time. But there's something in me that wants to know that. And there's a wisdom that comes around that. There's a wisdom response. That helps me to move past the shame. And if you're working with what some might call a shame-based identity, then you're going to have to encounter the archetypes in a Jungian fashion and have these conversations with the sensual nature of nature, the sensual nature of us, and our not disconnectedness from this space. This is from where we arose. This is our womb. Yes. It's good to learn practices from other people. It's good to adopt practices that other people have developed, but ultimately, it's about us developing our own practice and coming into a way of working with our bodies and our minds and our fingers in the case of music or whatever talent it is that you're developing. We have teachers to help us to discover the teacher in ourselves. I learned 8 years working in physical therapy that I was to empower my client to work with their own bodies. And that is what each of us are to do. We are to work out our salvation with our own fear and trembling, as one sacred text states. That is not to say that our practice should be fear-based. In fact, our practices are designed to help us escape our own fear. So we're working through our own fear and trembling, trying to come to our own sense of authority. And this is what the true spiritual practice, this is what the true spiritual teacher is pointing you to, is your own authority, your own internal locus of control. There is hardly any hope at all that we will be able to change another human being. However, we may, through love and the sharing of our experience, strength, and hope, and the things that we are intimately acquainted with, the subjects that we are intimately acquainted with in our life, we may come to inspire others. And that is a very gentle and generous and kind experience of just sharing our love with others to the point that they get a deeper vision for themselves.